And then finally, these roles have always, some of these roles haven't existed before because people didn't take data seriously. But the one that did exist before was the data governance manager in various forms. So there was always someone in an organization that was saying, how do we use data properly? Make sure the standards and stuff. This has become now more and more important. And one of the reasons it's become more and more important is because data is used throughout the organization. Before, it was very much a tech reporting type activity. Now it's actually used in, like I said, fraud detection, or actually a selection of certain products and services. So if you went online and you wanted to see if you're eligible for a insurance, for example, and an algorithm is determining whether you're eligible for the insurance, and now if that algorithm is not compliant or is not free of bias, then what happens is that people get excluded. And this is like in the medical space, for example, right? If you've got algorithms that are detecting cancer and stuff, but they're not picking up it in certain groups of people, then it becomes a big risk. So these people are the stewards. They manage and they oversee all of that data to make sure that it's good quality, it's being used appropriately, and used correctly. And then in the last 10 years, the data privacy compliance office has come along. So there's been lots of laws now that have been passed. And if you work in a larger organization, then what you find is that you need someone who's making sure that the innovators, the people I showed you in the previous slide, aren't misusing the data. They're not creating things that might jeopardize or infringe on people's privacy. Okay, so if you've been to a website and you've given them your personal information, if they haven't asked for permission to use that personal information, they shouldn't be using it. Okay, so these data privacy compliance officers make sure this happens. And then in the last 10-15 years, the chief data officer role has come about. It's basically an executive level role that manages and oversees all of data. It's one of those roles that a lot of large organizations have got, and it can range from people who are very strategic to people who are very executional, very technical, and it's one of those roles that's meant to own all of data. Okay, so those are roughly the types of roles, and there's some in between. You'll get certain types of roles that emerge, but these are roughly the type of roles. So let's